Everyone who rides a snowmobile appreciates a perfectly groomed and maintained trail. But oftentimes we forget about the countless volunteer hours that made that trail possible. The question is, why do they do it?
Started off, just wanted to go fast, ride hard, have fun. Maybe 15 years ago, started riding the groomed trails a bit, and then when I retired, I wanted to have something to keep me occupied that was functional, and I volunteered for the club and started coming out, and we do once a week, we do a club trail ride in the wintertime. And
well, when I retired after 36 and a half years, like a lot of people, you're used to working hard and you want something to do. I had a number of friends out here that I grew up with that I don't want to say to use the word they drew me in, but it's just a camaraderie of being with your people that enjoy the same thing as you do.
I grew up snowmobiling at family cottage in Sundridge, Ontario. So from the time I was, a few months old, I was in the caboose behind a snowmobile. The first club I got involved with was actually the Timmins Snowmobile Club as a high school student, doing my 40 hours of community service.
Funding for the clubs comes from a mixture of permit sales and government grants, but oftentimes more funding is needed to complete extra projects, which is why it's so important that a couple of the manufacturers, Yamaha for example, have begun providing extra funds for the clubs and for their extra projects.
Over the years, a lot of them have been criticized for making the money off selling machines and everything else and not putting anything back in. I think you're seeing a movement with a lot of the major manufacturers to put something back into the sport.
Recently, Yamaha Financial Services launched the Stay Outdoors program.
I don't think anyone expects them to put millions in. We received one grant last year. I'm hoping to tap into dominoes this year. So it's nice to see them come back in, and not just in money, there's the moral support and for the sport.
For a personal level, having your employer give back to something in your community, in your backyard, to be involved in something like that, it means an incredible amount to me. That's how I spend my my free time, the memories I make with my family and my friends. So the fact that that I work for a company that wants to invest in that and wants to invest in those memories and that future, that's what it's all about.
While there are funds available to the clubs, there's simply not enough to pay people to work on the trails, which is why volunteers are so extremely important to the daily operations of the club.
I basically was a fairly busy person. I hate to be idle, so I wanted to do something. I enjoyed the snowmobiling, and I wanted to be able to put a little bit back into the communities.
And you have to look at all your volunteers. We've got Steve over there, who's a Class A mechanic. We've got guys that use the chainsaws. Jeff contributes, especially in the technical stuff. I'm leaning on Jeff for setting up our Facebook page and things like that. Not everybody can drive the groomer, but each person gives you something that makes your club better.
As Ken was saying, every club member is a link in the chain. You need a host of different volunteers with different skills. So you think of the on the ground, on the snow type of operation. So from your grooming to your brushing to your trail packing to your signage. Then you need different volunteers or those same volunteers with skills as far as speaking with landowners, dealing with council, working and going to meetings to work with other clubs. Having a diverse club with diverse members makes a strong club.
You've got to enjoy working with people, and you've got to do it without expecting to get anything back. It's more about the fun. I think most of us, it's just a sense of getting something back. And I think you ask any volunteer to come out, You want them to work safely too. The last thing you want to do is see somebody get hurt.
The Bonfield Snowmobile Club is one of 289 across Ontario, and each club works with their neighboring club to form this network of 30,000 plus kilometers of trail. None of this would happen without the volunteers in every single one of these communities across Ontario. It's pretty special what we have, and we want to have this in the future.